You are confusing attention with power. You have been conditioned by a machine to believe that if you are not seen, you do not exist. You have been trained to measure your worth in engagement, your influence in metrics, and your reality by the amount of light reflecting off your digital surface. In the old city, visibility was a byproduct of physical achievement. You built an empire, you raised a fortress, you conquered a territory, and the resulting structure was seen. The visibility was secondary to the heavy physical reality of the asset. In the new city, visibility is the product itself. You have been warned about the fire. You have been told about the furnace. We have briefed you on the architecture of 2026, the year of the Bing Wu, the fire horse. You understand that the algorithm has weaponized this extreme yang energy to turn the human population into a grid of exploding batteries. You understand the digital flashover. The defining characteristic of the Bing Wu year is that it is high noon. It casts no shadow. It demands absolute visibility, absolute kinetic movement, and absolute consumption. The machine wants you in the light. It demands that you speak, that you post, that you take a side in the flat binary of the digital colosseum. But true power in 2026 does not look like the sun. True power looks like the dark, quiet ocean that the sun eventually sets into. True power looks like the immovable mountain that remains long after the forest fire has burned out. We are going to decode the most vital survival mechanism for the fire horse year. We are going to teach you the gray man theory. We are going to show you why lowering your digital reflectivity is the only way to achieve absolute strategic dominance in an era of mass psychosis. Let us dissect the trap of the main character. The algorithm industrializes narcissism. It sells you the illusion that you are the center of the narrative. It asks what is on your mind, implying your opinion alters the geopolitical landscape. It seduces you into believing that your voice is a necessary component to the functioning of civilization. This is the woo-woo self-penalty. The masses are inflicting injuries upon themselves through blind arrogance and volatile emotion. They are volunteering for the guillotine. When you step into the light, you become a data point. When you express an opinion, you give the algorithm the exact coordinates to map your psychological profile and pair you with your exact antiparticle. Once you are mapped, they will grind against each other to generate heat. You cease to be a player. You become the fuel. To survive the Bing Wu flashover, we taught you the protocol of the void. We taught you the air gap. That was step one. That was to stop the bleeding. That was to get you off the grid of exploding batteries. Now we must establish the albedo of zero. Albedo is a measure of reflectivity. A mirror has a high albedo. It takes the light projected onto it and bounces it back into the world. A black hole has an albedo of 0. It absorbs everything. It emits nothing. The gray man does not reflect the light of the fire horse. He absorbs it, or he lets it pass through him completely. You must remain the gray man in the digital realm. If you do not emit a signal, the algorithm cannot map you. If it cannot map you, it cannot trigger you. If it cannot trigger you, it cannot extract your kinetic energy. You are watching a society suffer from a mass psyop. You are watching 8 billion people forced into the blinding, scorching light of the absolute binary. You will feel the temptation to enter the arena to correct the record. You will see a falsehood, a manufactured panic, or a targeted defamation, and your instinct will be to stand up and shout the truth. This is the behavior of the prey. If you try to save them, you are acting out of mercy. Water tries to cool them down. Earth tries to ground them. Both of these are acts of mercy. In 2026, mercy is a strategic vulnerability. If you try to cool down a man who is addicted to the dopamine of his own outrage, he will not thank you. He will attack you for taking away his drug. If you try to ground a man who believes he is the narcissist of destiny, he will view you as an obstacle to his divine right to rule. Do not mitigate their madness. Exploit it. This is the cold, hard geometry of the new city. Let us apply this directly to the legal and business arenas. You are asking how to hide from the heat. You are asking how to mitigate the risk. Mitigation is the language of the prey. Mitigation is how you survive a storm, but it is not how you conquer a territory. In the new city, if you are only mitigating, you are already burning. In legal terms, in business terms, this means you stop playing defense. The novice thinks the way to win a lawsuit or a market war in 2026 is to win the public relations battle. They hire crisis managers. They issue loud, defensive statements. They try to cool down the outrage. They try to prove to the mob that they are righteous. The gray man does not issue a press release. The gray man does not try to convince the screaming mob of his innocence or his value. He understands that the mob does not want truth. The mob wants heat. Let the fire horse clear the lot for you when your opponent steps into the light to attack you. When they attempt to leverage public opinion to force a settlement, they are stepping into the kill box. The algorithm will eventually destroy their reputation. While they are burning their capital on visibility, you are operating in the shadows that the Bing Wu is trying to destroy. You do not mitigate lawsuits. You do not mitigate market downturns. You let the enemy exhaust their fire against your walls, and the moment they pause to take a breath, you bury them in ash. You use the heavy, unyielding machinery of the legal system to quietly dismantle their physical assets while they are distracted by their digital vanity. You must become ruthlessly transactional. The era of giving your energy away for free is over. The era of the soft, nurturing earth is suspended. If the world wants your stability, they must pay for it in hard assets. Build walled gardens. Build exclusive networks. Build the parallel economy. Do not invite a screaming mob into your sanctuary. Let them burn in the digital colosseum. You reserve your soil only for those who have proven they can survive the heat. Your job is to own the arena. Your job is to sell the tickets. Your job is to collect the data from the ashes. The sovereign mind does not participate in the blood sport. The sovereign mind studies the blood sport to understand the mechanics of the machine. Because 2026 is a year of shifting structures, the old rules are being utterly incinerated in the fiery blaze. When the old rules burn, the territory is left undefended. While the masses are busy fighting the ideological trap, running themselves to death to power a machine that doesn't care about their cause, you are going to quietly walk in and take the deed to the property. When the culture war exhausts a corporation and drives its stock into the ground, you buy the underlying assets for pennies. You do not gloat. You do not post your victory on social media. You remain invisible. You take the land, you secure the title, and you lock the gates before the mob even realizes the war is over. The fire horse is running. The furnace is at maximum capacity. The digital landscape is a desert at noon, and there is nowhere to hide from the glare. Do not pray for rain. Do not pray for the heat to break. Adapt your biology. Re-engineer your Bazi. If you are water, become the high-pressure steam that drives the iron machine. If you are earth, become the kiln that turns mud into indestructible stone. Stop managing your risk. Stop playing defense. The world of 2026 is a world of mass psychosis. It is weak, it is tired, and it is begging to be conquered by a mind that is cold, calculated, and completely immune to its illusions. They will destroy themselves seeking the light. You will rule them from the dark. Sever the connection to their reality. Build your own. This is Prescient. We are watching, and we are calculating the physics of your victory. On this channel, we decode the architecture of fate, breaking it down into systems you can use to dominate the board. If you possess the discipline for this type of content, subscribe to our channel. Otherwise, return to the glare. We may never see each other again. See you again soon, dear viewer.